Captain's Log, Stardate 2641.11.17. Dr. Rama, the resident lead science officer on Celaeno station, has proposed that the artifact we recovered from the research outpost contains mathematical codes that allow us to power up the large gateway ring in this system. The technology is alien, yet in some ways similar to the wormhole stabilizers we've seen at Maya before the event. As the only available vessel, we've been tasked to activate the gate and proceed on a reconnaissance mission, with the hopes that we can get back the same way. I feel responsible for my new crew, who are eager to explore. The modifications from the robotic dockyard certainly have improved the Artemis. I barely recognize the old Vega-class scout, yet our recent combat experience has shown us still woefully underprepared for the dangers this universe holds. Lieutenant Avery has marked the coordinates for the equation points, and says now let's see if that gateway will take us there. It'll be a long walk in normal space. So we're heading towards the wormhole gateway, and Dr. Rama believes we should be able to interface using the controller the controlling artifact that we have uncovered. So we will make our way towards the wormhole and then boldly go where no man has gone before. Well, by activating the Stargate, coding in the 7th chevron, and then seeing what awaits us on the other side. All right, nothing for it. Wormhole gateway is active, and with that, we will fly forward and see where this leads us. Coordinates have been entered, and that is most certainly a long way away. So regardless of that, we're going to activate the gateway, and we are going to jump to a new system. Okay, the gateway projected us through a space-time topology like the wormhole that pulled us into this universe. We essentially solved an equation that redefined the relationship between 2 points in space. Amazing. Yeah, the whole navigation system was based on mathematical equations that would allow us to traverse these gates. And there is an enemy radar scout in this system. 2 scouts incoming, so we're going to have to begin by defending ourselves here. Make that 3 scouts actually. Make that 4 scouts actually. Okay. We are definitely going to have to speed our way out of here and see if we can separate them, because we can't take on 4 of them at the same time. We'll be using the boost quite a bit and see if we can get some shots on target without taking too much damage, but the firepower is quite substantial, so this might be a bit of a drawn-out fight here. We do need to reduce the amount of enemies. And I think we got a few good shots onto that first drone. I always have the options to use the battle station's screw skill for speeding up some repairs. But where was that damaged drone? I would prefer to. We're down to 60% integrity. There's the damaged one. Let's see if we can finish it off, lead the shots, get a few plasma shots on target. And then we'll be enacting the battle station's rapid battle station repairs and chase down the one that's not the damaged one, but we can get a couple of shots landed. Nope. I need to get out of here as quickly as possible to enact further repairs. Battle station's almost back on cooldown, so do need to open up the distance a bit. Our engines have been damaged significantly, so getting out of here is becoming more difficult. But we'll get them to give chase, and maybe that'll get them to fly into our plasmas quite a bit more. And that seems to be a tactic that works a bit better. Okay, we've got one enemy down. Automatic repairs are ongoing, so we'll keep opening up the distance, trying to get them to give chase. We've got some noticeable damage on the whole systems, but overall, so far we're holding our own. Hopefully the repairs can be affected unless we take too much damage. So getting them to give chase is the right choice here, and that actually allows us to to bring our I think we outrange them actually. So if we can maintain distance, we do outrange them, and we can bring the we can get the plasmas on target while they are not within effective combat range. Okay. That, however, relies completely on our engines being in a functional state, and that is currently not necessarily the case. Okay, crew ready for battle stations once more. Enact emergency repairs while maintaining fire on the enemy ships. Okay, we are getting there, but this is going to be a bit of more of a drawn-out fight, I believe. Unfortunately, the armor is on our forward positions mostly, which is making the tail chase scenario less viable. We may actually have to reconfigure the ship a little bit if we're going to use this kind of tactics against enemy ships. That we're going to prioritize the rear plating, currently where the engines are sitting. It's not ideal because the engines obviously cannot be armored, but I think this is working tactically to maintain our distance and to maintain fire on the enemy without taking too much damage in return. So flying away from them is ineffective in terms of armor, but it might be more effective in terms of actual combat, unless we can separate them sufficiently that we can give chase. Okay, that's one of them down. Leaves. That's one's damaged, so I think we can take that one down as well pretty quickly. Now we are actually in a position that we've separated them sufficiently that we can give chase, or we can fire towards the rear with the mobile plasma turrets. Okay, come on. Let's get this one down as well. Crew ready for battle stations, but we are in a good shape now, and that just leaves one drone here that I think we are going to have to finish off. And then drone scout, whatever it is, ending up being. Then we can return towards the star system where the gateway was just showing up. Okay, let's get the target locked in. We've got full energy banks, nano repairs have been completed, and he's going in for the close range engagement. That was a mistake. We do have sufficient firepower to take him out. These appear to be the same ships we encountered near Celaeno. Commodore Yu wants us to investigate their source. Yes, definitely. But we have to return towards the gateway first. And we have picked up. So that was Cadet Cygnus Lee from Tactics. We have picked up a few. We have to pick up a bit of yttrium as well. I do need more titanium, so we can definitely pick up a few resources from the transport with the transporter beams from when we are destroying enemy shipping. So let's make our way back towards the system and actually investigate these planets. Lieutenant Perks, Cadet Perks from Astroscience. The further we get from gravitational disturbances, the faster our engines can propel us. It's known as the void distortion effect. Okay, this seems to be something that is somewhat well. It's known in our universe, but it seems to be more pronounced over here. So we can actually fly noticeably faster if we are making our way away from heavy gravitational distortion. All right, we've got the wormhole gateway. We can actually have a quick. We could just navigate back. So this seems to be working. They're bidirectional, but we have planets to investigate. Let's scan the surface of this rocky world. There's nothing unusual over here, and there's. What is this? A radar light lancer. Okay, that sounds new contact. That sounds trouble. Yeah, that is significantly better armed than the other ships we've previously seen. So we're gonna have to keep our distance on that one, and see if we can See if we can bait him into giving chase and getting a couple of shots in on long distance. I think our plasma turrets do outrange him, so unfortunately they're not falling for that easily, and they are keeping their distance as well. So they are somewhat aware of our capabilities from the previous engagement. They're trying not to close in, so, or not to give chase, which means that the combat is going to be a little bit more difficult. We have picked up an item, I believe, from this enemy ship. So let's get them into range and see that we maintain plasma range while they are outside effective combat range. They had some different forward armament, so we'll see if there's anything that we can do that we can learn about this. Alright, come on into range you come. And I think we can now close in for the kill. Yeah, I think we've got him. We have disabled their forward batteries. We're taking out the void surfaces, and now it's just the core left, and it has blown up, which means here we go. Decent amount of aluminium, more aluminium. Oh, there's a radar outpost there as well. Okay, so effective combat. We're learning. We're getting better at combat tactics, definitely. And I think we found our way to deal with the Red Raiders. Let's scan the terrestrial planet here and see how that goes. There is something unusual on it, so I'm going to get the survey team deployed, and we'll see what we can find. The anomaly is a titanium crash sphere designed to slow and protect a small survival capsule during an emergency landing. It worked perfectly in this case, but the occupant must have sustained critical injuries prior to ejection. Okay, so it's an alien escape pod, but we could salvage 2 titanium from it. The body has been reduced to little more than a skeleton by the local microfauna, so all the team is able to ascertain is that they were a biped with 2 arm-like appendages and 3 ocular cavities. A distress beacon stopped broadcasting some time ago, but some snippets of the message is recovered by the Universal Translator. Devout Attack Group, course to avoid retrace, a drone production site. And we have Cadet Gliese. The structure expands on ejection into an optimal geometry for both dissipation, friction heat, and absorbing impact energy. So he's been able to get some knowledge of that escape pod. So we had a bipedal alien with 3 eyes. Then apparently they had been attacked by somebody called Devout. They've course to avoid retrace drone production site. They might have been looking for the. We are effectively looking for where the Red Raider drones, and they appear to be unmanned drones, where the Red Raider drones are coming from. So they might have the same target that we had to find the production facilities, but they were attacked by somebody called the Devout. We do have an artifact that we can quickly get analyzed. It is an accelerator barrel for a fixed plasma weapon. Yeah, a fixed plasma weapon. Let's get that analyzed. And what does Cadet Cygnus Lee have to say? If we can find additional parts of this weapon, we'll be able to research building it ourselves. Okay, so we get fixed plasma weapon similar to turrets, but designed for a fixed gun with longer range and more power. This actually sounds like, this sounds like the forward guns that the Lancer had deployed against us. So that might be something I'd be quite keen to get my hands on. But we are going to need more examples of it. So there's another planet in the system that we can analyze. So let's head over there. And we have a new mission added to the log. I was going to have to take a look at that as well. The gateway led to a distant region. Investigate the nearby sectors. And we found a region of space infested with Red Raider ships that attack on sight. One of our priorities is to identify the source of these attack ships. Yes. So let's make... talking about which... more Raider scouts incoming. So for now, we'll scan this greenhouse planet. Yeah, potential threat in range. Okay, we're gonna have crew to battle stations. We're back into combat. And these we have to, given that they are swarming us potentially, we have to get them to give chase. Ideally. But it's only 2 of them. So let's see if we can actually deter them. 2 we should be able to handle. We've taken a bit of damage, but it's manageable. The one that's coming in. Focus fire on the drone that's passing by. Got him. Okay, that's 1 down, and this leaves the other one. So the previous engagement was 4 scout drones, which was a problem from the firepower perspective. But with 2 of them we can handle actually in a direct engagement without too much trouble. So we'll give chase. Have to be careful. There's a station out there, but we have got him. We'll just, yep, there's the station out there. See if we can get a tractor beam. Oh, there's another structure in space out there as well. Okay, still potential threat in range. So it seems that we do need to deal with that station first. Okay, let's see if we can operate at the maximum range of our plasma cannons. Yeah, I think we can operate outside effective combat range of this fixed installation. So we're going to get that outpost under fire without now that they have lost their mobile support. I think we can take this out without threat to the ship. So that shouldn't be too bad. All right, Cygnus Lee has completed the attack. We'll just pick up more aluminium and more aluminium. Okay, but now I think the threat in the system has been neutralized. And we can proceed with deploying the survey team to this greenhouse planet. Let's see what we can find there. Shuttle away. And the away team finds little of interest on this methane-choked planet. The most advanced life form is a grass-like fungus. But sometime in the last few centuries, someone fought over this wet rock, as demonstrated by a half-sunken gunship. While nature has stripped away many of its resources, some turrets still have their yttrium capacitors. Right, that's the only thing we could find, is that old wreck here. So let's return and then head over to the next planet in the system, and I will investigate that. Structure here. Large rocky planet scans up. After we scan the planet, she can discuss. This is Cadet Pirks. Can account for mass entropy in the warp metric equation, reducing the void drag effect on us. That is good. So in an explored system with no hostiles, I can create an optimized void solution for our engines. In other words, we'll be able to go faster through systems we've explored, not as fast as in deep space, but with a decent boost. Okay, so she can compensate for the gravimetric distortions. And that is an incentive to... we've got everything scanned. That is an incentive to do this. So... we've gotten a bit of information, but we have... Oh no, there's an ice world still that hasn't been scanned. So while we're here, let's have a quick look and see if we can investigate. Oh, I'm not sure what this thing is doing. Okay, it's a Higgs flinger. It looks like this structure is generating a local negative Higgs field. Starcom has experimented with using this principle for long-distance travel, but we haven't solved the disintegration problem. Yes, Lieutenant Avery, I assume we shouldn't be entering that without potential for further experimentation, at least with great caution. There's another scout in the system, has jumped in, so the raiders are definitely coming in frequently, and they are right next to the wormhole, which is now active, which leads to Celaeno. So that might be something we need to worry about at some point as well. Let's scan this ice world and see what we can find here. And no anomalies detected. So we've got these Higgs flingers that we could use, or that we could attempt to use. But there was another raider scout in here that I'd rather take care of, unless they're making the jump back to Celaeno. At least we had him on the sensors a moment ago, but it seems to have vanished. That concerns me actually. We might return first to Celaeno's station and report back on our findings so far, because they obviously didn't even know if we were able to come back. And there's at least one other star system that the long-range sensors have picked up. So let's get back to let's jump back to Celaeno and see if that radar ship has jumped before us that we had on the sensors. But it doesn't seem to be the case, or Celaeno has actually taken care of it. But then we would see debris here. So it's possible that that they've jumped before us and got destroyed, but well, let's have a quick chat with our superiors. Let's report back to the Commodore. The Commodore is, well, seems to be taking it all pretty well. But no further updates on our missions. However, due to anticipated shortages, coffee in the commissary is limited to 500 millimeters per diem, non-transferable. Synth cafes available. Synth cafes is terrible, so everybody very much enjoys the real coffee, but obviously with the wormhole blown up, they have to start rationing, which is going to make people less than happy about things. Okay. Let's check in with Dr. Rama. What did you learn from our trip through the gateway? Obviously, I was correct in believing it served a similar purpose to the wormhole stabilizers that Starcom constructed. Yeah, it's not powerful enough to create a wormhole to our universe, but it can create local bridges in the space manifold. Whoever constructed it was technologically very advanced. Despite the lower power level, these gateways distort space much more efficiently than our stabilizers. It's possible that if we find some more artifacts like these, we could open a wormhole home from this side. That sounds like a plan, Dr. Rama. Let's check in with Lieutenant Milton and see if he has any more information for us. What can you tell me about the ship that destroyed Maya's station? After reviewing your logs of the incident, I can only say that it's way more powerful than anything we could build. Maya has, or rather had, neutronium-reinforced plating. Even directed antimatter should have taken longer to get through. Do we have any update about these red radar ships? The only thing that Commodore you dropped the ball calling them red raiders. We should have called them Rouge Rogue. Yeah, obviously, but beside that, well, they're technologically a bit behind Starcom. I'm confident Celaeno can hold them off unless they come at us in bigger ships or in much bigger numbers. It seems unlikely they were made by whoever destroyed Maya's station. I agree on that. They seem of a more autonomous design, although the color scheme kind of reminds me a bit. But yeah, that ship was completely different. Also it did fire red plasma weapons, however, but it might just be a common thing in this universe. Yeah, we actually have seen slightly larger. We have seen a Raider Lancer, a slightly larger ship. We've managed to acquire part of a new weapon design. Any suggestions for obtaining the rest? Assuming Ask Nicely isn't on the table, some parts can be obtained from ship debris. There's a bit of luck involved. The chances of sensitive components surviving a catastrophic hull collapse isn't high. If you can remove the module before that happens, your odds improve significantly. So what he's effectively telling me is that we need to aim for their weapon system in order to shoot that off before the reactor goes critical and the whole thing blows up. That sounds good. I'm not going to go through the ship design tutorial because I had said I already have played this for a bit, so I know what I'm doing. Let's head over to research. We've got 180 research points. Let's see what we can get. Ideally, I would love to. We're good on energy actually. Can we fit additional weapons or armor on things? I don't have any iridium yet. No, I haven't picked up any up. We have 5 yttrium, so I could put an additional plasma turret on things. I have the aluminium for it, but that would increase the energy draw quite significantly. So I would love to be able to operate forwards with additional armor, and only use the kiting away to approach when we are facing overwhelming odds. So armoring the rear is difficult because that's where we've got the survey lander and we've got the propulsion systems, obviously. So having better forward side armor, but for that we're going to need iridium. So what we could do, I don't have the heat map, so I don't know that these things are generating heat. So what we could do is we could fit an additional plasma turret out here. And that has a peak draw of 6.8 gigajoules per second. So we have additional firepower, but we don't have the generating, we don't have the energy production to make that work. So I might leave it as is for now. What can we do in terms of energy? I would need a chirolite for an additional microreactor. I think we'll leave the ship as is for now, and we'll return to the star system to figure out what's going on there. And that'll be going in the next episode.